Here in Smith County, a routine traffic stop turned deadly. Officers were performing a traffic citation, and afterwards, that's when the suspect got agitated. You can hear the protest, you can hear the chants, it's loud and clear. Students are advocating to have their voices heard. And moments ago, students and faculty that were arrested on Sunday spoke out about the moments that led up to the event. Now the wind is blowing so hard on the James River footbridge. I was able to take a look at some of the impacts of the Matts Creek fire alongside Congressman Griffith and Good. It's been a hot few days here in Roanoke City, and what a better way to beat the heat than floating away. The university offers 51 majors. Now 12 undergraduate and 5 graduate programs will be closing. Matts Creek fire is continuing to burn in the National Forest, nearing 6,000 acres. Let's take a look. You can see here behind me that the fire is spreading up into the mountain, covering and producing a heavy cloud of smoke. Now, officials say the goal is to have primary control lines completed on Saturday around the fire. Police are investigating a homicide after a man was found dead with a gunshot wound after he crashed his car into a shed. Like you said, Chloe, we are out front of the Roanoke Police Department, where earlier police responded to a call about an officer-involved shooting. Good afternoon, Kimberly. I'm here in Lynchburg. I'm on the 2200 block of Park Avenue. Around 9 a.m., officers responded to an assault in progress. If you could take a look behind me right now, have my photog zoom in. Vice President nominee J.D. Vance is set to appear in Radford on Monday. Now, the campaign is heating up. What does it say with Vance coming here in a few days? It seems like every day there's a new accident happening on Interstate 81, specifically the 3-lane widening project near Salem, causing disruptions and delays for commuters and especially truck drivers. WDBJ7 wanted to find out what is causing an increase in these accidents. Turning now to your first alert hometown forecast, Bradford. It's been on and off with this weather. I mean, rain today. It was just like 75 degrees the other day. What can people look forward to coming into this week?
It took a coward to shoot my daughter in the back of the head. She had no chance. Had no chance in the world.
Bobby Casey has been searching for answers since his daughter, Kyyona Casey, was shot and killed 5 years ago.
They always say, daughter's a daddy's girl, and he's right. I love mine.
Kyyona and Justin Jennings were both shot dead in a car on Orange Avenue near 11th Street Northwest. But now, 5 years later, very few details about their case have come to light, and no arrests have been made.
Just answer. Brent, I just want to meet the person and ask them why.
WDBJ7 has been following the case since it happened 5 years ago. We previously reported that Kyyona was supposed to testify against Marcus Clark, who was facing a first-degree murder charge. Just weeks before the trial, Kyyona was found dead, and the murder charges against Clark were dropped. Kyyona was just 21 years old.
I want the public help to tell me or tell the police who did it. That's all I ask for. And this is a small town, man. Everybody know everybody. So I don't know why you don't have an answer for this.
With the numbers of shootings increasing year after year in Roanoke City, Casey is frustrated at the idea of this turning into another cold case.
Before my daughter closed we closed the cases, I whistled in her ear and told my daughter that I will find her killer, one way or the other, either upstairs or downstairs.
Anyone with information is encouraged to contact Roanoke Police to help the family gain closure. Reporting in Roanoke, Amaiya Howard, WDBJ7. Just 2 weeks ago, Deputy Hunter Reedy was shot and killed in the line of duty after performing a traffic stop in Marion. On Friday, his family, baseball fans, and other law enforcement agencies showed their support at the Red Sox Stadium. A dedicated servant to his community. And a father gone too soon.
He would be telling us that we need to move forward.
This Red Sox baseball game isn't an ordinary game, but a way to honor the fallen deputy. And as Reedy's 9-year-old son throws the first pitch, General Manager Alan Lawrence reminds us that it's important to have your community in a time of grief.
We feel like that we're much more than baseball. We're a part of the community. We want to be ingrained in the community. And again, if we can be just a small part of that healing process for this or for anybody else out there, that's very important to us.
Deputy Hunter Reedy was described as a big teddy bear by the ones who knew him best.
He was very family oriented. He loved his wife and he loved his kids.
The Aware Foundation organized the event to help those affected get their minds off the tragic incident. Sergeant Clayton Smith says the show of support has helped with the healing process.
And it was great to see all those guys here supporting us in our time of need, giving us prayers, offering any assistance that they could. Some guys are sharing previous experiences that they've been through and offering to talk with any of us that need to talk to somebody that has experienced the same things.
The other deputy that was shot, Michael Fedorchik, was also at the game with his family, showing despite tragedy, they're finding strength as they lean on one another. Reporting in Salem, Amaiya Howard, WDBJ7. It seems like it's getting hotter and hotter as the summer goes along and families are turning to splash pads like this to cool down. But after one Lynchburg family says that their child got sick after playing, they're questioning whether the cooling water is safe.
They create these things for small people because it's safe to bring them here. So if the city's going to create this for us to bring our children here, you would think that they would try to maintain their safety.
Chelsea Easterbrook and her daughter Ellie were playing at Riverside Park Spray Ground 2.5 weeks ago.
We come probably like 2 or 3 times a week.
A few days later, Ellie started to feel sick, and her mother decided to take her to a doctor.
She's been having constant diarrhea, so they wanted to take a stool sample, and when the sample came back, it had tested positive for 2 different types of E. coli.
Easterbrook believes Ellie had gotten sick from the splash pad.
About a month ago, a mother had reported that her children got really ill after coming here, and we love coming here.
We spoke with environmental health manager for the Central Virginia Health District, Jim Bowles. He says they began doing their own testing.
So we made a visit to the splash pad yesterday, actually looked at the operation a little bit and conducted a test on the water. The disinfectant level was good and the pH in the water was good.
Bowles says with the correct pH level, most bacteria are killed within a minute. But while they test the water, they don't test for bacteria.
And we don't routinely test for bacteria in water, in swimming pools and that type of facility. We actually focus on making sure that the level of disinfectant in the water is sufficient to kill or reduce the number of bacteria to an acceptable level.
If someone did make claims of saying that their daughter did catch E. coli from the splash pad, is that possible?
It certainly is possible. At this point, we don't have any evidence to indicate that anybody has gotten sick from the splash pad.
How are we going to say that my daughter's case is actually linked with it if we're not testing for the same type that she was tested positive for? It doesn't make sense.
WDBJ7 reached out to the Lynchburg Parks and Recreation for a comment. In a statement, they said they are confident that the outdoor water amenities, like the spray ground, are safe for families and friends to enjoy. They went on to say if the certified pool operator finds chemicals that are not at the proper levels, the splash pad will not be open and will remain closed until fixed. WDBJ7 was not able to test the water ourselves since the splash pad wasn't open.
Keeping kids safe at a splash pad or any other aquatic venue is really a joint effort between the operators of that venue and parents.
Bull says everyone should shower before using any splash pad or pool. Bathroom breaks and not swallowing the water will also help. And if your child is already sick, they should not be getting in the water. Reporting in Lynchburg, Amaiya Howard, WDBJ7. Imagine losing your wedding photos for decades, only to receive a message from a stranger who claims to have found them.
I thought maybe I would find a daughter, son, a relative, but we found the bride.
Lynchburg resident Sandra Poindexter was sifting through picture frames at an auction.
These were on a table, just the 2 pictures by themselves.
The woman in the frame captured her eye.
There was just something about the photos, and I know it was such a special occasion, being bridal photos, and I thought, well, somebody might want those in the family.
That's when Poindexter went on a search to find the missing bride.
I had no idea that Harriet would even come into the picture, in real life.
She posted a picture of the frames in a Facebook group asking if anyone has information. After days of searching, a member of the group was able to find the bride.
She said, I found her. And I said, you are kidding. And she said, no, she's 85 years old now, and she lives in San Antonio, Texas.
I was shocked, and I was so happy because I had looked for those pictures.
For nearly 30 years, Harriet Galbraith was looking for the photos she had given to her late mom.
But I had gone to my sister after my mother died and said, I would like to have those pictures. And she said, well, I don't know where they are. And so I figured, well, who knows what happened to it. So I was, disappointed.
The photos were taken in 1959 by a well-known photographer in D.C. Galbraith was only 20 years old. She says the memories of these pictures are priceless, and she can't wait to show her grandchildren.
Well, I think they'll be happy and be proud and say, gee, Grandma, was that really you?
I was going to take the pictures out of the frames thinking that would be much easier to mail, but I just can't. I can't take it apart. I want her to get them just like they were.